The Mountain Music Festival is happening in Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Performing on Sunday, the 25th, is Vixen. You know, there's only one all-female rock band from the 80s who has sold over 1 million albums, had 6, count them, 6 #1 videos on MTV, had 4 songs in Billboard's Top 100, too. They were founded in St. Paul, Minnesota. Vixen, the drummer, is Roxy Petrucci, and she joins me now. Welcome, Roxy.
Hey, Steve. Great to be here. That was an awesome intro. I dug it. Thank you so much. And it's all true.
How did you get involved in Vixen back in the 80s?
Well, I was kicking around town in a band called Madam X. We were a metal band. And Vixen, every once in a while I would see a Vixen poster, all-girl band, but I didn't think much because I was doing the clubs with Madam X. And I guess at that time they were looking for a drummer. And they called our management company, which was Don Arden at the time. We were managed by the same managers as Black Sabbath. And they got in touch with our manager, and they came down to see us at the country club. And it was good timing because Madam X was splitting up at the time. So we broke up. I went back to Detroit. I got a call from Janet, and she says, hey, I'm going to send you a demo of the band, and would you be interested in checking it out? And I said, sure. Sends me a demo. I listened to it. I'm like, wow, that's really, really good. I fly back to L.A. We had a rehearsal, and, when it clicks, it clicks. And we definitely had chemistry. And at that time, I was exactly what they were looking for. They wanted more of a harder-edged drummer, a harder hitter. And that'd be me. and also at that time, the Vixen is more like a Bon Jovi type rock. So I had to really dial it back because I was so used to playing double bass, heavy metal. So they were like, okay, this is great, but you're going to have to just kind of lay back a little bit because you're just, you're totally blowing us away with this. But it was good for me, because it takes some finesse to play, the rock, hard rock, but melodic hard rock. So it was a good fit, and the girls were really professional, and it worked. And from then on, we never looked back.
Yeah, you grew up in Michigan, big Italian family. What was it like for you, Roxy, as a female drummer?
Well, we're talking a long time ago when you didn't see a lot of female drummers, right?
Yeah.
So when I was in high school, the girls thought I was odd. It's like, why would you want to be a drummer? And I didn't get that. I mean, I come from an Italian family. My parents loved music. They had us all playing instruments. It wasn't, do you want to play an instrument? It was, what instrument are you going to play? It was kind of like, you're going to play something. So initially I picked clarinet, which I love, and I still to this day. I play clarinet, and then my dad says, you want to play something else? And my sister says, you're playing drums because I'm playing guitar, and we're going to have an all-girl band. I said, okay. So I picked up the drums. And so just started playing in marching band and concert band and at home, and took lessons. And, yeah, it was a novelty. I mean, the drummers I looked up to were, John Bonham and Bill Ward from Black Sabbath. There weren't a whole lot of female drummers, although there was a band, all-girl band, way ahead of their time called Fanny. And I don't know if you ever heard of them, but they were from the 70s. And my older brother, introduced Maxine and myself to that band. And we were like, oh, my God, look at these girls. We've never seen it before. It was on TV. We said, yep, we're definitely going to put an all-girl band together. So that was our mission. And so throughout high school, and I won a scholarship to college on my clarinet. I was first-year clarinetist. During the day, I was playing clarinet and symphony, and at night I would change into my leather and go play the clubs with a band at the time was called Black Lace with my sister. And I was doing that for a while, and then finally, after about a year, the band was like, we want to go on the road. What do you want to do? And I told my dad I'm going to quit college. I was a music major, but, rock and roll. I was like, I made my choice, quit college and went on the road, and we were gone. We were going all over the place, just all over the U.S., just playing clubs. That was our rock school, playing these clubs,
Yeah.
And we didn't care. We were just so driven. We didn't make any money, but by the end of the week, we were lucky if we had $50 in our pocket, but we didn't care.
No, you loved it.
On the floor. Yeah, we totally loved it. That's all we wanted to do. We were young. We were hungry. We didn't care. We're like, we're going to be rock stars. Our goal is to work our way to Los Angeles, play the Troubadour, and get a record deal. Because that was the big thing. We heard about the Troubadour. We heard about the Roxy and the Rainbow and all those clubs. And we're like, well, that's our goal. So we got really tight, playing all over the place. And we owned our own semi. We owned our own lights. We owned our own PA. That's where all our money went into our gear. We didn't eat. You know, I weighed maybe 100 pounds wet. And then we honed our skills, and, you know, we were really good. And we changed the name to Madam X, went out to L.A., played a show at the Troubadour. Don Arden was there, and he signed us.
You, Janet, and Cher in Vixen at the time, 1987 rolls around. The executives at EMI decided to roll the dice with this band, breaking the stereotypes by promoting a band fronted by women in the male-dominated club of hard rock. What was it like when you got signed to EMI?
Well, it took a while, first of all, to get signed. We got Alan Kovac as our manager, and we did showcases, and they would think of every excuse in the book not to sign the band. Well, we already have a girl band on our label. Oh, we already have Lita Ford. Well, it's like, what, is there a quota? You can only have one girl band, the rest are all male? Like, we didn't get it. It's like, you like us, we're good, you know, take a chance. So, EMI Manhattan Records at the time, Alan Kovac hit him over the head with us. Like, you know, if you're signing this band, they took a chance and they did the right thing. So, you know, kudos to them for taking the risk. But, yeah, we delivered. It was not easy. It wasn't hard booking gigs for the band because it's an all-girl band. And, you know, back then it was like, we don't care if they can play or not, you know, just get them on stage, they're going to draw. The clubs are going to draw. But we were building a reputation because the band was good. Our focus was, let's be the best band we can and look good, right?
Yeah.
And you know, so we were serious about our music, but we were also having a great time. And, you know, we were professional. This band was professional. We knew how to, and that, you know, it worked. It worked for a while.
Yeah.
So we got the deal, and then we went on the road, and we made a record, of course, you know, with Richard Marx and Edge of a Broken Heart, right? That was our big hit, and Crying. And we were lucky. We went out with Eddie Money for a while, Bad Company, and then we got the Ozzy Osbourne tour, which was fabulous. And he really loved us, too. And at one point he said, yeah, you know, I wouldn't mind doing a song with these girls, which was very cool. He loved Janet's voice. And then we got the tour with the Scorpions in Europe. And that was our first real big arena tour in Europe. We had never played in arenas in Europe. So we did that for 4 months. And then we got the Deep Purple tour and toured with Deep Purple. So we were out for probably close to a year and a half, maybe going home for Christmas. It was wild. It was great.
Yeah, you're on this roll till and then 92 comes around. Now the Seattle sound is starting. So why did the band disband, Roxy, at that time?
I think we were burnt out. I think we lost our record deal. I really don't know what goes on behind the scenes. You know, we have management, but I think our manager had some sort of falling out with the record label. We may have lost our record deal. The band at the time, we were not really getting along. We just needed a break from each other. Mm-hmm. We were thinking, you know, we were supposed to be writing another record. The band was kind of splitting down the middle. Jan and I were writing together. Cher and Janet were writing together, and we're pulling our songs together, and we weren't quite on the same page. So it was multiple factors, plus the grunge. I think grunge just killed it. All of a sudden, we became totally uncool. Anything 80s was uncool. Yeah. You couldn't get arrested. So I think had that not happened, we would have scored another deal, but I think grunge is what really killed it.
You stepped away for a while. What made you decide to get, I guess it was 2013, to get the band back together?
Well, Jan actually called us. She had another version of Vixen together, and I wasn't a part of it, neither was Janet. And then she ended up calling us, and, you know, she felt like it was time. So we were all, you know, we were all good about that. We were ready. The time was good for all of us. And then we were planning a tour. We had our management in place. We had our booking agent in place. We were really excited about it. And then we got the call that, you know, Jan had cancer. And, you know, we were just like, okay, let's take care of you first. And, she thought she was getting better, and we thought she was getting better. And then just like that, it was like we got the call that she was gone. She passed away, which was just horrific. You just don't, until you're hit with it, you just don't believe it.
Yes.
Especially somebody like her. She was just one of a kind, super special.
Yeah.
So we talked about it afterwards. Should we continue? What should we do? So, with family, her family, fans, and, people close to us, we talked about it. He says, well, yeah, Jan's dream was Vixen. She spent her whole life building that brand, building that name. We have to keep going. So we did.
Yeah, and started to form today's lineup. 2017, Britt Lightning joins the band.
Yep. She has the essence of Jan. She was a perfect fit.
And then Julia in 2022. What's Julia like, the Brazilian bassist?
And Cher stepped away in 2022, and now we have Rosa Laracuta
as the lead singer. The big news earlier this year. So you've been out with her now.
Right.
You've been on tour as the tour continues.
Right.
Again, coming to the Mountain Music Fest in Gatlinburg. So what's it been like with Rosa?
Rosa is a ball of fire. She is the real deal. She's so authentic, and her voice is just incredible. It's got the Vixen, like she's got Janet in the early years, Janet, the high Janet voice, but she has her own girth to it. She's kind of Janet Gardner meets Melissa Etheridge meets, Ann Wilson. She's got a mix of all that, but she's just perfect. Her voice is perfect for the songs. And what's funny is she didn't really know who Vixen was. Isn't that hilarious? She's from TSO, Trans-Siberian Orchestra. And when her friends found out, they said, "Are you kidding me? You're going to be playing with Vixen?" She goes, "Yeah." And she listened to the songs, and she goes, "Oh, my God, these are perfect for my voice." And it was just so funny to me. And I'm like, this is the cutest thing ever. She doesn't really know who we are. I love that. She brings her own. She doesn't have to be anybody. I want her to be herself, because when I heard her sing, I said, she's got it. She's going to be great for this band. And once she started singing Edge and How Much Love and all these songs, and it gave me chills. And the fans are loving it. They're going, "Oh God, this sounds like, it's the integrity of the Vixen music." That is what I'm trying to maintain. I would think we were getting too far away from it, and we were losing that. She brought it back. This is what we need. I want to keep Vixen sounding as much like Vixen, not having the original members as I can. And I think we're doing that.
Now, did you know Rosa at all?
No. Nope. I did a lot of research, and she came at the very end. I had my eye on a couple other girls, and then I got a recommendation about Rosa, and I didn't know who she was, and I just heard she played with Trans-Siberian Orchestra and the Headpins from Canada. So I started listening to her music, and I listened to her voice, and I just heard it. I said, "Oh, yeah," and then I talked to her, because, of course, personality, you're going to have to be on the road with these people. You have to like them.
Yeah.
and be sort of on the same page, right?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, so she just had the energy, the work ethic. I mean, that's what I heard about her, too. People that have worked with her. I talked to people that worked with her. I said, "What's she like?" And, and she's a hard worker, and she's got that Italian thing in her. Give it 100% or don't even do it. And she does. And she's just, like I said, she's perfect. She's got a great stage presence. She works really hard on getting the songs right, because I want these songs to sound like you want them to sound. I said, "You're doing a great job. You just listen to it and put your Rosa into it, but keep the integrity of the song there." So, and the more we play with her, the more she's just getting more comfortable, and it's just sounding amazing. And like I said, we're so happy, and the band sounds better. The vocals, the background vocals, everything is just up a notch.
Yeah.
I got to practice.
Well, you'll get to see them, Vixen, at the Mountain Music Festival, Gatlinburg, Tennessee, on Sunday, the 25th. They'll be on around 6:32, and they're on tour through the fall, and then they've got a cruise next year. You can get all the tour dates at vixenofficial.com, or Roxy has a website, too, roxypetrucci.com.
Yeah. You want some merch, and Vixen's got some merch, and we got all sorts of cool stuff. And if you come to the show, I'm guaranteed you're going to have a great time, because that's what we want to do. It's the band of the 80s kind of thing, We want you to come and have a great time, like the Van Halen era. The soundtrack of your life. We have the soundtrack of your life. Bring good memories, and just come and have fun.
First album you bought?
Black Sabbath.
Great one. Dream collaboration for you?
Ooh. Tony Iommi, I'd love to play with him. I love his guitar playing. Richard Marx again. Do something with Richard Marx. I'd love to release another Edge of a Broken Heart Part 2. You know, Ann Wilson. You know, there's a lot. Lita Ford. I would love to do something with Lita.
Any hidden talents you have?
I can hit the baseball far. Yeah, yeah. Not just. I'm an awesome clarinet player. I'll tell you that.
First concert you ever went to?
Buddy Rich.
Ooh, good one.
Oh yeah, and I was only like 10 or 12 years old, and I went. I wasn't even playing drums at the time. My dad took me to see Buddy Rich, and I was just like in awe, going, "Oh my God!" But my first metal concert, you can guess.
Oh, Black Sabbath, of course. Yes, yeah.
Of course.
Do you have a phobia?
Oh, heights.
You're like me. Oh,
I
yeah.
can't go too high.
No.
I can't go too high. No, thank you. Keep me on the ground floor.
Yeah. Roxy Petrucci from Vixen. They will be at the Mountain Music Festival in Gatlinburg. On Sunday, the festival is all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Great lineup, great venue, great place. It's awesome. Roxy.
Yeah, you will be revving it up, and we hope everybody comes out and sees us because we'll be probably meeting and greeting afterwards.
We are looking forward to it. Well, thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks, Steve. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Same here.